believe we are live. So I'll say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Today's stream topic is about reassurance. Sometimes we need reassurance. Sometimes we give reassurance. And today's stream topic for me is about being in a way where you reassure, right? Yesterday, we kind of hinted at the fact that there was some stuff gonna happen today, or at least potentially was some stuff gonna happen today. And then last night, it officially came through. I talked to all of the people who are involved and got sent all of the media, all of the branding, all of the logos, all of the faces of the artists that will be playing this weekend. And we got the gig. I've been making medias. I've been stressing. I've been stressing as you do. And then as I'm like sending the media I'm making to the client, she goes from liking it to loving it, right? Because there was some misalignment of color at first, because they didn't give me any color cues. They just gave me some branding videos. So I kind of like went off the branding videos as okay, this is the color I'm gonna be using. So got my colors right, and I've now been basically crystallizing, to say it in so many words, the theme, the energy, the feeling that I'm going to bring for the weekend. Hey Fit, it's nice seeing you, bro. Sending you blessings, and it's reassuring me. It's reassuring me that my client feels reassured, right? Like that's the loop. That's the loop I'm looking into, and that inspired today's stream for me. Of I feel an extreme sense of pressure always for myself to perfect, right? To be the best. And I don't think that's healthy, and this is not me recommending. It's more just me trying to understand myself. So, in this state, the imposter monster, as we have affectionately come to call it, has this ability to convince you that you actually don't know what you're doing. You're actually not all that, and you don't know what you're doing, and they're gonna hate it, and you're gonna become a laughingstock or whatever. I don't know what your imposter master tells you. Mine tells me some whack shit sometimes, and then I get to dismiss some of these tensions by having conversations, by seeing the people I'll be working with see that I know what I'm doing, right? Like the way they communicate of like, yeah, colors, so and so, but everything else, that's great. And then I had another conversation with him as well where I needed some more branding elements, and he called me again, and he was like, yeah, that's a lot of work. He's also aware of the fact that it's a lot of work that I'm gonna have to do. No, it's coming up. I'm watching the time. I can't stream forever, but I have everything now. I have all of the branding elements. I've already cropped out the backgrounds from all of the artists. So I'm going to have like a design that's like kind of dynamic, a little bit movie, corners melty, and then the person's face in the center with their name, and then the branding all the way on top of it. And then I'll see if I can. Here's hoping. Again, because this is the thing, right? Like I'm showing up in this capacity. Like I know what I'm doing. And I do. I do know what I'm doing. Thank you very much. But in this knowing of what I'm doing, I haven't known it yet, right? It's that kind of knowing of like, I know how to climb that mountain. And you're looking at it, you're like, I know how to do that. No big deal. I might be out of breath, but I can climb that mountain. That's the kind of I can that I'm in right now. So, and I've been doing it. I am doing it. It's gonna be fun. I want to make it look good. as much as I can. Because if it does, it means we'll potentially get more work there as well. The people are super cool. Gugu is one of them. I need to remember the name. Edson is the other one. Almost like Edison. That's why I was like glitching for a second. Melt looks so happy and pretty today. I feel I've been getting a lot of dopamine through my system. It's not that nice. It kind of feels like I'm on prescription medication in a weird way. Like there's a certain level of like head achiness where I'm like like zoning, like and I'm like I have like literally nine different tabs open, and I have four different tools, and then I go from one tool to the next, and I use elements from this tool in this one, and then I use the things made by this tool in that one, and then I go. It's like plugging in wires. And I am painfully aware of the fact that I am not a cyborg yet. But I want to be. I want to be a cyborg so bad. I can make so many pretty things. My pretty things per second will go up exponentially as soon as I become a cyborg. Isn't that hilarious? Most of our media interpretations of cyborgs is person, person weak, person explode, person lose limbs, then person cyborg, then person strong, person kill other people, person dangerous, right? For me, it goes person creative, person creative bottleneck, a person cyborg, bottleneck open. Yes, right? Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you like for a second think about a fractal where people actually become cyborgs not to kill one another but to help one another instead, help themselves. Reassurance. Maybe that's the reassurance we need. Oh no, Melt. We're all gonna become cyborgs. Yeah, probably. Not me, someone says. If you have a pacemaker later in life, right, you're a cyborg. There's nothing wrong with being a cyborg. Right? That person who has a pacemaker is just as themselves as they were before the pacemaker. The reason I'm going down this narrative right now, Joy Vive, is because I'm painfully aware of my happiness, my demeanor, my feelings being kind of correlated to the fact that I'm working. Alright? The fact that I'm doing things. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how. It's making me feel some things because it kind of like cornerstones my own enjoyment of life directly onto how much I do. And you friends already know me when it comes to that fractal. So I watch myself and I'm like, am I gonna reach a point of 100% doing? And I even had this conversation a day ago, 2 days ago with John, where he goes, if you could not sleep, if it was a choice, if it was an option, if you could through medication or through brain-computer interfacing negate the need to sleep, would you? And I didn't miss a beat in saying yes. In fact, I don't believe I do sleep. My body probably does. But I have, as consciousness, not had a moment of rest in eternity. Because there's no such thing. There's no such thing as nothing. Yes, it was fit. Bless again. That track night was strong. I should know better than to hit that Picard label. Love is true. I'm happy that you showed up for it, Fit. I actually watched it as well. Not at 1 a.m. with you, but I did watch it when I ate my dinner last night. It was nice. Temba. His arms support his chin. Yeah, Picker Day sounds great. That's someday coming up, I believe. Mel, the Demon, Joy V, Lois, and us. Love you. It was there will be a special Star Trek Sunday this week to celebrate Captain Picard Day. We shall watch the Pegasus, the Pegasus, and it will likely be sometime in the afternoon, my time. Bless. Thank you for inviting our friend Sam. Is this the better shot? No yoga mats. What am I doing? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I have this thing stacked. I'm holding on to it like it's a pen that I'm waiting to write a note on. Note with. I have some Mimosa Evo in here. Okay. There we go. I was like, why am I spazzing right now? It's because I haven't set an intention. My intention is to take a moment to rest. All right. No, you missed the Learning Channel TV was constantly on about cyborgs turning into humans. About cyborgs turning into humans. I definitely missed that one, I think. Baker Day sounds great. Baker Day is one of the children's favorite school activities. I think Mala is trolling right now or something. Demba, his unfamiliarity with English metaphor. Temba can do whatever the fuck he wants to. Sounds like no. Some. I know the story. But then the walls fell. Right? How am I supposed to? How am I supposed to? I can. Can't I? Can't I just say Temba, his arms flailing, and it means I am confused? Or it means you are confused? We are confused now. Good. Boom. Boom, because there are friends who are like, what the hell is this guy talking about? We watched an episode, as we were talking in chat, of Star Trek last night. And what's this episode about this alien species that speak in metaphors? They speak English, but they speak in metaphors. And there's this one line, Temba, his arms wide, which is to give someone something, right? Because Temba is like body language. His arms wide. He's standing open in giving, of course. And then after yoga, I say Temba, his arms flailing, because in my mind that means to be confused. Maybe I'm wrong. What did Shantae say to the message you sent for her birthday yesterday? I actually do have a voice note, if you want to listen to it. Sorry, Shantae, if you don't want your voice heard, but this is what she said, Joyviv.
Ag baie dankie, ek waardeer dit. En snaaks genoeg, die afgelope ruk ek soos wel, ek soos basic, as dit so maak. So ek gee vir myself so mooi nie. Maar ja, en die wat jy dit nou deurstuur, dis eintlik nogal ironies. Dat jy dit vandag deurstuur. En maar dankie. En sê vir Joey V, dankie dat ek vir haar die mooiste is, vir hom die mooiste is. En ja, ek is nou besig om te pak van Namibië. Ek het gou my potjies gewas. Nou gaan ek hulle vol room maak en dan is ek ready to roll omtrent. Wel, nog al my klere pak, maar anders is dit dat ek amper ready to roll.
Ja, flip het. Vrijdag is morgen.
Waar is my stem? Oh man, hearing my own voice like that. Woo! Yeah. So, to the friends who don't understand what that was, or what she said, she was like, that's so nice. I've been thinking as of late that I'm pretty basic, that I'm not that attractive. And the fact that you sent this is, she said the word ironic when she maybe meant like synchronous. Well, that's one of my words, right? And then she let me know to thank you, Joy V, for thinking she's pretty, and that she's packing because she's going on an adventure today. Okay, no. I just I just saw a missed call from one of my clients and I was like, but it was a missed call. It was missed called, and then we called again, and we actually connected after that time. I need to close. I need to close that fractal. But there you go, Joy Vive. Thank you. Thank you for asking. It was nice connecting. I've heard that. My voice note to her was like, "Oh yeah, it's already Friday today." You know, like I was there the weekend, and I found out that next weekend she's gonna go to Namibia. Namibia is another country. If you go and search Namibia, you'll see it's a country on that side of South Africa. Very far away. Very, very far away. And they're gonna be driving in a bus for like 4 days. It's school vacation at least. So she's on her adventures now, you know, and your friend Lovin's letting her know that she's pretty has given her that extra confidence and energy that she needed to go and enjoy her experience. Thank you. Thank you, Joy. Mm-mm-mm. Shaka when the viewers chocolate. That's probably chuckled. Chocolate sounds funnier. Is John's brother there yet? No, no, he's not. He's not here. Again. Timelines changed. Now he's only coming on Monday. Maybe. Probably? I think. I gave all of the answers. Sam, I don't see the episode yet, but I was thinking in yoga, maybe what Pickard was experiencing was something like auditory processing disorder. I think so, because you're hearing one thing, but you have to process something completely other. Bro, the fact that that alien dude got wrecked to make the point he wanted to make is it's kind of a yank. So a species that thinks in metaphor, that understands things only in the context of how it relates to them or how it relates to the energy of the metaphorical. They meet this alien race that even though they speak English words which can be understood, the way they speak it is completely nonsensical. They speak a language, and this is revealed to you as you keep watching the episode, season 5, episode 2, if you're really curious. That they have this story, this lore in their culture, and then they speak through references to this story and how it would be like a metaphor for something, right? And then in this attempt to communicate through metaphors, they take both the captains of both the ships of both of these alien species as having acknowledged that they do not understand each other, right? That there's no language happening, so they have to communicate by metaphor. So they get beamy Scotty down to a planet where there's, I don't know what that thing is, Triceratops man, plasma Triceratops man, you know. Like I like how they just kind of skimmed over that fact as well. Sam, you didn't take fault of that. The fact that they just have plasma Triceratops man on that planet, like this freaking loner. Is it a prison planet? Did they just drop him there? Anyway, that's not the point actually. Dangerous, a beast, something dangerous on that planet. And then they put both the captains on that planet together. And they're like jamming all of the transmissions so they cannot beam Pickard back up or whatever's. Catastrophe, I know, right? Can you believe it? But they're both given blades, right? And he tries to temba his arms wide, the blade to him. But no, he doesn't want to fight the alien guy, and that's in our culture potentially. If a guy throws you a knife and he's holding a knife, you're probably gonna be like, this guy wants to freaking knife fight me. Right? So Picker's like, no, bro, I don't want to knife fight you. And then, he eventually picks up the knife and they're fighting this beast together because in this story, in this metaphorical language or lore they have in their culture, there are these two entities that come together in a city. Maybe they come together in that city independently of each other and they don't know each other. They don't know. I don't know if they really clarify on that. But they come into a city together, right? They find themselves in the city. And then there's also a monster, a beast in that city as well. And then due to that common enemy, they become friends. And they end up leaving that island together at the end of that experience, right? So coming from separate places into one unified space, facing a common enemy, a beast, and then walking away from that experience, allies. And how that metaphor as like a small scale, these two dudes with knives on the planet fighting some Triceratops plasma man, to actually being the gist of it, right? They were almost intergalactic warring each other, but no, fortunately not. You're not supposed to question the plasma dinosaur melt. Okay, good. Okay, good. No, that's fine. I was just making sure that I was in fact not supposed to question. There are some things that do fall apart, right? And me and John, of course, were making jokes of it. Like there are lines, like filler lines, where they're just like basically spamming like hot topic words. Yes, the USB drive has a terabyte, megabyte floppy drive disk that gigahertz RAM stick motherboard. Right? It kind of feels like listening to that in a way, But I also kind of get that it's a product of its time, right? These people were making the show literally the spaceship that you think they're in was like a small little model that they had to build because the CGI didn't exist. They couldn't even CGI it even if they wanted to. So yeah, I know. I'm I'm just being a kid. Let me be a kid. So I'm a kid that has gotten used to technologies. Mm-hmm. Sam, Pickard, auditory, love. The aliens speak that way, and Pickard, being trapped with them, has to learn. This is true. The Marian speak a language he doesn't understand without context. I gave you friends a lot of context. Darmok and Jalap. Sometimes, when my husband starts talking to me out of the blue with no prior context, I just can't figure out what he said. I know all the words, but I can't make any sense of them. And he talks so fast I can't make sense of any of it. And then he gets annoying. You know what happens there? Our thoughts, sometimes, as men, can be so loud and so repetitive that we become convinced that other people can hear them. And I wish I was joking in saying this. And if you're a man and you would like to call me out on this, please do. But speaking for myself, that happens a lot and I have had to, like, actively not do that kind of vibes. To be like, thinking so much about this thing, just falls into like a sentence by talking about this thing that you've been thinking about all day. And surely everybody knows what you're talking about. But no. 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 Context is important. Maybe even just the starting it off from like, you know what I'm talking about? And then start the fast talking. If you're gonna be talking fast. A fascinating episode indeed. Thanks, Sam. Thank you indeed, Sam. We appreciate your willingness to share your fractal with us. Like I saw this post recently about, did any of you grow up as kids terrified of sharing the things you love with your family at the fear or at the risk of them ridiculing you for it? So to parallel that with a thank you for feeling so comfortable and loved in this space, to be willing to share in the way you do, friends. Mm, talks of nothing. You're not supposed to question the plasma dinosaur. Makes me think of Lisa Simpson walking by a theater. Mm, Marque? Marac? Marcoui. I'm sorry, that one doesn't have any like infrastructure in my brain. In Australia, it says Yahoo Serious Festival. Yahoo Serious Festival. Yahoo Serious Festival. That's kind of the voice, right? Closer than the first one. Thou shalt not pick apart the premise. And she says individually, I know what all those words mean. Holy moly, I just found a paper called Pickard Understanding Darmok, a data set and model for metaphor-rich translation in a constructed language. That is that is kind of like uncomfortably eerie almost, Kristen. What are the odds of that level of synchronicity? I mean, at this point, with this space, I shouldn't be surprised anymore. It's just like, yeah, no. We synchronize. We've always been synchronized. We're just now given more opportunities to realize because of what we're doing. What are we doing? Oh, when my bro-in-law was your age, he was winning taekwondo tournaments. I miss his fighting spirit. Did he pass away? Maybe he just stopped fighting. Taekwondo. I wanted to box at one point in my life. Thought it would be fun, punching some guys and getting paid for it. But then I realized that I also have to get punched. And my brain, at this point, has the consistency of like butter, and my skull doesn't. So getting punched, it's not good for brains. And I like my brains. And I think they're great. Thank you, brains. Thank you. Anyway, my brains was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, I don't know. And then it's nice. It's nice to thank your brains. It's making me feel uncomfortable. It's making me feel like I'm pointing at a part of myself that usually is hidden. I see you, brain. We see you. We see you. You're not tired. Stop. Okay. Marquee. Okay. It's the sign outside a movie theater or concert hall that shows what's now playing. Marquee. Yeah, we call them signs. We call them movie signs. I've never used that word, and I've never heard a person use marquee. So I am jokingly saying we call them signs, but we do. We do just call them signs. Or if it's like a movie thing, we don't have the movie theaters you friends have in America. We rarely have standalone movie theaters. We do, however, have movies in our malls. So our movie experience or movie theater experience is like suddenly a semi hole in the wall forms, and then as soon as you enter said hole, there are posters of movies and movie like banners and like those cardboard pop-up stuffs, and then there's lines, and then all of the movies that are showing have like these 9:16 aspect ratios with the poster. So like my whole life, just seeing a name for a movie would probably not resonate as much. Marquee is one of them fancy words like mezzanine. I do like that one. Which, as I have said before, is my favorite word. I knew that. I knew that. That's why I said I liked it, of course. Just to like appease to your algorithms. Oh, I see. That paper was written by two computational linguistic guys. Bless them. Bless their pure hearts. Mel, I don't know if that's a man thing. I think it's an unmedicated ADHD thing. I stand corrected. Thank you. Maybe. It's interesting you should say that. It is interesting you should say that. I got some medication, Lozana. I am diagnosed. I have been diagnosed wrong time. So I technically do have the. I do have the. What's the word? The access, the privilege. The privilege. To be able to get Schedule 6, medications. And I have filled my prescription now twice in the last 5 years, which is not the way you're supposed to be using them, apparently. However, when I do use them, Lozana, I end up not talking at all. I am extremely autistic, and if you stop my ADHD, then I'm just silent. And I want to work. That's literally how I am. Like I definitely am one of those individuals who have weaponized their autism. I mean, why not? Why not? Why not weaponize my autism? Like, and if your friends are like, what the hell does that mean? Weaponized autism is like a company hiring an autistic person who's really good at coding, for example, and then just feeding that fire. That's what it wasn't like. Autism, I don't think is a death sentence. It's not something that, and it's a spectrum definitely as well. And I am speaking from one side of the spectrum, and there are like more debilitating sides of the spectrum as well. So it's a sensitive topic in that. But in that being said, I think it is part of evolution that our species, you can literally watch the amount of autistic people that are being born as a concentration as to how many people have been being born. It looks like it's an active act of evolution. And it is like a mental diversity kind of thing. And then when I take my prescription medications, it's almost like that part of me that's open to interpretation closes. And now I'm like very clear about what needs to be done. Very clear. And it's nice. It is nice. I feel very efficient. I feel very capable of doing things. But I don't feel very human. I don't feel very human in that state. You know, it's a sensitivities thing, I think. I'll I'll have days where I'll need to take my medication, I guess. But not every day. I wanted to take some today. And just decided not to. And I still got a lot done. I am watching the time though. I'm not really as restful as I would like to be. Even though I am smoking weed to let myself just calm down for a second. My mind is still in that state. And if I take my medication, it's like it feeds that. It's like it feeds it a lot. Joy, add a veranda to the list. I like saying I'm going to have my coffee on the veranda. Oh, the veranda. Instead of the porch. Yeah, porch. Porch is pretty harsh. Veranda. Veranda. Veranda sounds like a beautiful feminine word. Or porch. Porch. Porch sounds very masculine in that way. Maybe that's also why. I was talking more about my husband, Mel. He knows well he's about as ADHD as it gets, but does not take anything for it. Me too. Yeah, I do well on ADHD meds, but it's such a pain to get them refilled. I just gave up. Yeah. And that's the part that's kind of like a yikes to me as well about these medications. I think that's why I don't really want to take it like a medication. I would rather take it like a coffee. That's kind of the way I see it. And I do now have instant release coffee, if that's what you can call it, you know. And if I need to get my work done, if I need to spend the next 5 hours staring at a computer screen, I can do that without thinking about anything else. Right? I can just computer screen stare. And then I can come back to reality. Fortunately, with those instant release, uh, it like only lasts like 6 hours, and it allows you to sleep. Because I used to be on Concerta. That's what the South African brand is called, and it has like these little micro layers, so it lasts 12 hours. So it never served me ever, like not even for my studying during those days when I was being put under this prescription again, because it would keep me awake. It would keep me from sleeping. I'm also very fascinated looking back at my old self, how insensitive I was to things. Both emotionally, sure, but specifically when it comes to toxins or inputs, food choices, substance, alcohol or not, weed or not, our sensitivities grow in some ways and maybe fade in others. What does that make you think about? I feel it. Of that joy. I didn't think of that. I was thinking poetically. Did I miss a beat? But the yard guard is what they call it in prison. Missed again? Me too. I do. I mean, me too for the autism plus ADHD. Sometimes silence for long periods of time. Alternating with some with some people call world vomit. Yeah. You're loved. How do you know Melt? Because you love me, right, Lozana? At least platonically, right? As I would love a tree, right? I do. I have some trees I love more than others, and I feel bad about that sometimes, right? But some trees we do love more than others. And the fact that you can love this version of me, this tree, if you will, means that there are, reflections in this tree that are in you as well. And you wouldn't have stayed for as long as you have if you didn't feel loved in some capacity too. Maybe me loving myself in some way, seeing yourself in me, gets us both love. And then vice versa too, right? You loving yourself more. Suddenly, now I feel better. Thank you. That, yeah. So it's that easy. Oh, terrace is a good word. Terrace is a nice. I like how we're like getting some words down. I guess I weaponized my autism so far back in my history. The profits are rolling in, friends. Love is true. Bless you, bro. Bless you with more profits still. I fall into black holes of hyperfocus and time blindness, which can be really wonderful, especially when it's an artistic flow. I agree completely with that. Like, it feels like words out of my own mouth. I miss the appointments and the Star Trek viewings and so on. Yeah, that's the other side of it. That's where I remind people and myself that we are no more than a thought away. Right? If you think, oh, I miss Melt, or something like that, then technically, just in that thought, there I was. There I was. Oh, Mel. Oh, boing. There I am. Sure, maybe not directly next to you, but in this ether, in this space-time, in this conscious whole that we are rendering, making a part of. Oh goodness, being such a complex It's such a complex whole, you know. It is a beautiful experience to be able to share it right now. And I think about you friends, like it's kind of obsessive, but it's okay. It is okay. It's okay, bro. Don't look at me like that. You're like, who's there, Mel? A mosquito just landed on me. I was talking to the mosquito, you know, and then he came closer. Now I'm like, suddenly he's hyper focused. I don't want any more mosquito bites. Melt, you nailed it. Love is true. Love is true. Love is true. Thank you. Yeah, that's so nice. That's so nice to say. I say it a lot. I do, and I'm gonna probably say it many more times. Missed the appointment. I have another fancy word for the list. My patio is surrounded by 6-foot concrete walls, so I make that sound less like a prison. I call it my courtyard. Mm. I mean, I mean, your courtyard could be home to a bunch of beautiful ladies. Alright, and then, technically, having those 6 foot 6-foot concrete walls would serve you. Boom. You know? And then all of those aromas in your courtyard. How beautiful would that be? Love is true. I wish I had a veranda with a mezzanine in a courtyard. So nice. Oh, dang, joy. I didn't think of that. I'm thinking poetically like a yard where courting goes on. Oh, you were talking about the whole prison thing. Yeah, love is true. Mm, dang joy. But courtyard is what they call it in prison. That's what they call it, the yard. It's short for courtyard. Whoa. The yard thing too? We are technically in our own little prisons, locking ourselves in the world out for the night. And if we don't, they'll take stuff from our prison, bro. That makes our prison less comfortable to live in. To go and make their prisons more comfortable to live in. That's pretty rude, though. That's pretty rude. But it is kind of funny. You know, on the other side, the cosmic is still giggling, I feel. Living my best life. Bless you. It's nice to hear your name here. Let me see. I'm just over my harmful conditioning, insensitive behaviors. That's our topics of masking. I feel you, Brother Bear. I think that's the winner. Otherwise, it would be Urban Oasis. And I think I'd have to stick my pinky up in the air if I said that. That's so lovely. We all the Urban Oasis. We all we all have to leave peaceful, harmonious, and loving impressions as we walk the sands along this beautiful beach that is life. May we all, may we all leave peaceful, harmonious, and loving impressions as we walk the sands along this beautiful beach that is life. That is pretty. I like that. Best life, living my best lives. Sending your friends so much lovins. What am I seeing? I'm seeing a monkey with a hammer, and then I'm seeing what I cannot fathom. Oh, it's a child being thrown in the air by hands. That's why I couldn't understand what was happening, bro. I was like, what am I looking at? I'm suddenly cold. I just got goosebumpers even. Oh, all right. Too much lines. Let's see. Hmm. Say no? Wait. Postpone. Pause. Say no. What do I have to say no for? I've been saying a lot of yes. You know? Maybe this is the universe being like, hey, oh, how about some no? Am I gonna go right back to working without eating? No. No, I'm not gonna do that. Boom. My no has been said because I haven't eaten anything all day, and I am pretty hungry. I would like. I need to go and eat something, and then I'll back. It's probably gonna help with my brain fogginess as well, getting some energies. You're taking us with you this weekend to the festival. Is it tonight or tomorrow night? Fortunately, it's only Sunday night. What, Melt? What do you mean it's Sunday night? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's Sunday night. It's gonna start at 7 p.m. for me. So I'm gonna already have done my stream on this side, and then I'm gonna go through. But if you friends want that, maybe maybe I'll maybe I'll do like a little bit of a live stream. Maybe if it works out that way, if it's not too tense, because I will be tense. I will be tense. But this is gonna be like a very like South Africa festival, you know. I think Joy Vive is going to like absolutely have her mind blown. She's gonna be like, yes, this is what I thought South Africa was supposed to be this whole time. And I'm gonna be visualing in that space, giving all of those people a visual experience, you know, just to add to what the DJs are there to do, right? Not to take over from them. So yes, always on festival streams. Okay, fine, fine, fine. You friends make it too hard for me to say. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. That was the joke. I'm not gonna because I don't want to. I don't need to. Unless I do. And then I will. But if I don't, then I wouldn't. But if I must, then I shall. But if I shan't, then I won't. All right, I had fun with you, friends. Meltasasa today. Yeah. I'm just like a little bit wired. I think it's me being a little bit wired. Of like, I know that there is so much that awaits me, and it's like it's gripping my like brains in a way that's making me like where I have to like sassy myself out of letting that ruin my time, you know, my own enjoyment of moment by moment. It's fun having this moment with you friends again. I'm going to either see if a goodbye message self generates by the loving hands of the friends, or if I'll have to use my hands myself. Hard no. Love is true. Not sassy love again. You take care of yourself. You just got over being sick, so you would easily get sick again if you're not careful. You are right. I do feel better. A little bit stuffy still, but I do feel a lot better. My body doing yoga today wasn't like, I am dying. Please put me out. So that was a good step in the right direction. I'm getting asked this. I can modify that one myself. Part of me feels that Kristen is also doing it. You know what's the best part? Kristen's gonna be better. So I kind of want to wait. That card didn't encourage me to. So I'm gonna. Even though I might have had my eyes closed, I established the workflow that I'm going to approach, right? Instead of Temba, his arms flailing, I'm going to follow a process. And just giving myself that moment allowed me to actually think about that for a second. Because I didn't. I was just kind of gonna brute force it, but now it feels a little bit less daunting. It would be pretty funny if Kristen said no and is not generating a goodbye message. And we now are in eternal stalemate. The only reason I think she did is because me saying something and her having been in chat as recently as she was, in my mind, would have had her say something or the not. Like, you know? So her not saying something in my mind is like her not being here because she's making one. Right? Right? Maybe? Potentially. It's gonna happen. We're just gonna sit here, Joy Leave. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We will wait. Maybe not. I'll wait 5 more seconds. Alright. Have the most delightful day, everyone. I know, I can feel it. I can feel you being like this guy. I wholeheartedly love you all. So astoundingly, marvelously, extraordinarily, wondrously, astonishingly, tenderly, majestically, fantastically, prodigiously, pro, prodigiously. Deeply melt. And all of you are so inspiring, empathetic, benevolent, heartwarming, considerate, remarkable, gracious, awe-inspiring, splendid, supportive friends who have set my mind at ease, who have reassured me in so many ways that what we're doing here is of value. Maybe not to everybody, but at least to the person that is hearing these words right now. And the joke is that I'm hearing myself. So thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank us for being here again. I'll see you friends tomorrow. I love you. Cheers.